It's Sunday, May 6th, 2018, and welcome to my countdown to retirement video for the month of May 2018. As I count down to retirement in June 2019, my wife and I will be retiring at that time in our early 50s, and every month I make a video documenting what books I purchased, what books I read for that month, and what movies I watched. The movies I watched comes at the end with the books that I read. And I just give like little quick ratings, really, and name each one and give a rating. So, what did I buy at Strand, outside of Strand this last week? Decision to Delphi by Helen McGinnis. It's got a cool gothic cover. It was in great shape. I already have this book, but it was in such nice shape I couldn't let it go for 50 cents. Then this was $1. The Myth Maker, Paul and the Invention of Christianity by Chaim Maccoby. I took a chance. I don't believe in any religion. Coming at this from an atheist standpoint, I thought it looked interesting, the book. Got mixed reviews, some negative feedback. I have no way to judge whether it's true or not, the negative feedback. Probably never get to read the book. It was only $1, like I say, so if I read some of it or never read any of it, no real harm lost. Excuse me. No real harm done, except that I'm really out of space for books, and I say this in videos frequently. You gotta keep buying books, and that's a problem. If you could only see around what's behind the camera here, it's just boxes with books in the bedroom, and I don't know what to do. But there you go. Then yesterday we went to Long Island, and this store I usually don't find much there, and their prices are like a little bit higher than I usually would pay for used books. So what did I get? I bought 3 books, came to about $24 with tax. This is Manifest Destiny and American Territorial Expansion, A Brief History with Documents by Amy Greenberg. It's a little thin book, was in excellent shape, and paid $6 for this. No, $5 for this one. It has little short, documents, relatively short. Some might be a few pages, some might be a page or two, about Manifest Destiny. Looks interesting. Then this I know so much about the West books and whatnot, and I don't remember ever seeing this book before. This is an Oklahoma Press book, University of Oklahoma Press. It's called My Life in the Mountains and on the Plains, the newly discovered autobiography by David Meriwether, with an introduction by Robert Griffin. So this was a nice find. Dust jacket has, it's hard to see, but this is a few little issues. It's a little bit on the older side. This book is from 1965, but the dust jacket is overall intact and nice looking. And this man here, he was a governor of New Mexico in the early 1850s, but before that, about 30 years before that, he went west in like 1819, and talks about experiences with Indians and things of that nature, and that's the kind of stuff I love to read about. So that was a very good find. This was $6. And this book here was $10. Now, I have a lot of Edgar Allan Poe books, but I just like this one. This is Edgar Allan Poe collection. Gothic fantasy, it says. It's a little bit hard to see. And got like a fancy cover. And it's got, let's see who's involved with this book. This is a foreword by Christopher Sempner. Semtner. Christopher Sempner. Looked into, it's got some footnotes in it. Introduction by Chris. So, I don't know, I'm that person. I shouldn't call him Chris. Introduction by, or forward by Mr. Sempner. So, $10, a brand new. It was being sold for more on the internet, so I figured, what the hell, I'll get it. That is it for this week's book purchases. And I am finishing up a book that I'm actually enjoying a lot, Jane Austen, Northanger Abbey. First Jane Austen book I've ever read. And that's it for this video. Don't have too much planned the rest of this month for book trips, but I go to Strand all the time, so we'll see what I find. Till next time, bye. It's Friday, May 11th, and time for another book video update. So what did I get this week at Strand? The Plainsman by Jack Schafer. This is a collection of short stories by Jack Schafer, and it's hardcover outside for $2 in great shape. Pretty good find. I'm always looking for Jack Schafer, and I never could find it, so I was very pleased to find that. Then they had this nice catalog outside for $1. This is from 2015, in May 2015, so 3 years ago this time of year. And it's called Visions of the West, American Paintings from the William I. Koch, or Koch, I'm not sure how you pronounce it, maybe Koch collection. And it's got some nice, let's see here. It's always nice to find something like this for $1. Yeah, let's find another. So cool find. And then outside for $2, I have this book, but like I just said, it was $2. It was in great shape. I put the broad art jacket on it. It's Frederick Remington, Artist of the Old West by Harold McCracken, with over 80 reproductions, including 32 in full color. And nice oversized hardcover book. Then I ordered some books from the internet this week. Oh, actually, first, before I get to those two, let me, this one I bought inside Strand, called Jane on the Brain, Jane Austen, Exploring the Science of Social Intelligence with Jane Austen by Wendy Jones, hardcover. This was $14 in tax, but I wanted it. Then on Amazon, I also bought a book about Jane Austen on eBay, which I'll be getting next week. But on Amazon, I picked up Shane by Jack Schafer. This is a critical edition edited by James Work. So not only is, basically it's the book Shane plus various essays written by different authors about Jack Schafer and his books. Not just Shane, but there's talk of his other books also. So it's pretty cool. This is from Nebraska Press, University of Nebraska Press. And then I picked up, this was a great price. I think I paid with shipping like not even $7, I think. I'd have to double check that, but I'm pretty sure $7, $8. Jane Austen, Northanger Abbey, an annotated edition edited by Susan Wolfson. And I just read this book, so I was curious to learn more about it. I thought it was a very good book. And so this edition seems like a great edition, annotated edition. So that's it for this week. And this is Mother's Day this weekend. So happy Mother's Day if you're a mother out there watching this. And till next time, bye. It's Friday, May 18th, and time for another update video. So what did I buy this week in books? Well, this is a magazine. But I was walking by Barnes & Noble the other day, and I needed to use the restroom on the way back to work. So I ran in and saw the magazine and picked it up. James Butler Hickok on the cover. It has some Custer articles, so I thought it looked interesting enough to get. And usually I don't buy the magazines. Then I picked up Outside Strand, Dashiell Hammett, A Daughter Remembers, by Joe Hammett, edited by Richard Lehman with Julie M. Rivet. It was like brand new outside, $2. Pretty good find, I think. And then the Civil War short stories of Ambrose Bierce, also outside Strand, $1, compiled with a foreword by Ernest J. Hopkins. It was in great shape. And last, this I picked up on eBay, The Real Jane Austen, A Life in Small Things by Paula Byrne. So that's it for this week. Tomorrow we're going to, I think it's 3 bookstores in New Jersey. And we'll see what I pick up tomorrow, and maybe tomorrow night or Sunday I'll do another video. And by the end of next week, the month's pretty much over, and we'll be down to 13 months to retirement. Bye. It's Saturday night, May 19th, and time for another book update video. So today we went to New Jersey and had a really good time. We were supposed to go to 3 bookstores. We ended up going to 2. I'll explain that in a moment. The first bookstore we went to, they were having a book sale. We didn't know. They usually have very good prices anyway because it's a used bookstore slash thrift shop, and it's run by a church. And my atheism aside, it's a really cool bookstore. They have great prices, but today they were having a sale, so their great prices were even greater. It was fill up a bag for $5. So we filled up 2 bags. I wound up with 26 books. My wife bought 3. So it's about 33 cents a book it cost us today. I'm going to show the books that I purchased in just a moment. After we went to that store, we went to another one, and we didn't buy anything there, not books anyway. My son bought a few little trading card related items. And then we just skipped the last bookstore because we had already just really, purchased a lot. And we wanted to go to IKEA. Weather wasn't so nice, and we needed to buy a bookcase for my son's room. So then we went out to eat at Chili's. Had a good time. So that all that stuff aside now, what did I buy today? So let me go through these in no particular order. So I got 6 paperbacks. This is a movie I watched recently. Here's the book. Robert B. Parker, author of Appaloosa. The movie was really pretty good. So I wanted to get the book. And again, all of these books, what I'm going to show really just amounted to like 33 cents each. The Iliad and the Odyssey by Homer. And these are translated by W.H.D. Rouse. Killer Angels by Michael Shaara. Now this I would have just gotten anyway just to fill up the bag, but I do have it already. Persuasion by Jane Austen. Thought the cover was cool. And this one here, I thought had a very cool vintage cover. It's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. It is a cool cover. I'm guessing it was a girl, wrote notes in the book, little comments, but I didn't really care. This is one that I would read. I would just leave it in the book bag, because it's just got a nice cover, and read a different copy. So, again, it helped to fill out the bag, and cool cover. I like those old vintage covers. Okay, then I picked up The Revenant. Now, the movie sucked. I did not like this movie. But the book, maybe it's a good book. It's written by Michael Punk, or Punky. I'm not sure how he says his last name. There is a mistake in the back of the book. It says here that Jim Bridger died on July 17, 1878. This is page 256 in this copy here. Well, the July 17, I think, is right, but it was 1881, not 1878. That's my understanding. That's what I've always seen. I'm not sure where he got the 1878 from. But I figure, what the hell, I'll get the book. This is an old vintage copy of Joe Meek, The Merry Mountain Man by Stanley Vestal, which was a pen name. His real name was, I forget. I'm drawing a blank. Walter Stanley Campbell, I think, was his name. And Stanley Vestal was his pen name. I'm guessing this faded a little bit. I'm not sure if it was originally this color or if it faded a little bit. But then again, the back is gray too, so maybe that is the original color. But it's kind of like a very plain, dull looking cover. The color. But Joe Meek deserves to be remembered. Indian Fights and Fighters by Cyrus Townsend Brady. He's in great shape. And this book I have a few copies of, but it was so cheap, and it was in great shape. Son of the Morning Star by Evan Cannell. And this is the corrected copy, what I mean is that there were some errors in the first edition that was printed, and at least one of them that I'm aware of is corrected in this copy here. Where he refers to Kit Carson as a scout from Mackenzie when was that it? Well, anyway, whether it was from Mackenzie or not, I don't remember the instance in the book, but it wasn't Kit Carson. They were Tonkawa Indians, not Kit Carson. James Alexander Thom, Panther in the Sky, the big thick book. I put a clear broad jacket on it, and I do have this already in a paperback and another hardcover, but it was such great shape, like pretty much brand new. So maybe one day I'll have a bookstore, but I don't know. Frederick Remington's Own West, 26 Tales, and it's with an introduction by Harold, actually edited and with an introduction by Harold McCracken. I have this book. I don't know if I have this particular copy. I have to check, but I do have some version of this. Maybe it's this one. Soldier and Brave. This is the National Park Service, and it's pretty cool. It's got a lot of nice maps, and this book is from 1971. And basically it's the National Park Service with different sites to go see in history of them. Some pictures, maps, really nice maps. And I already have it, but it's a cool book to find. I've not really seen that book around a lot. This also I have. I buy a lot of doubles. I don't know why I'm crazy. A Life Wild and Perilous by Robert M. Utley. It was in great shape, like brand new. The jacket on it. And then these I'll show together. Star Trek Memories and Star Trek Movie Memories by William Shatner, written with Chris Kresge, and they were just about brand new, sitting on the shelf. Yeah, and 33 cents each. So, okay, getting down to my last stack. This is a book I have, but I don't think I have it in this. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I don't have it in this edition. The Prairie Traveler by Captain Marcy. Randolph B. Marcy. The B is for Barnes. U.S. Army. Captain Marcy, U.S. Army. Time Life Books, leather cover. This looked interesting. It's called Gunslingers by Carl Brahan. Cool cover. Covers Frank Canton, Doc Holliday, Tom Horn, John Kingfisher, and Henry Starr. And has an introduction by Harold Preece. Preece. Now this, I keep seeing it around and I hear about it, and I just got curious. Again, it was so cheap, 33 cents, like brand new. The Girl on the Train by Paula Hawkins. I don't think, what the hell. Give it a try. When I'll get to read it, I don't know. I have 1,000,000 books. Okay, it's not 1,000,000, but it's damn near close. For that price, I couldn't say no. Not that I knew what price it was going to be, I just knew the more I purchased, the cheaper each book would turn out to be, being that it was $5 for the entire bag. Jane Austen, Sanditon, and the Watsons. Subtitled Austen's Unfinished Novels. And this is put out by Dover. They have like inexpensive reprints, but it's in fine shape. And this is something that I don't have. The Best Cowboy Stories Ever Told, edited by Stephen Brennan. I have another book by Stephen Brennan. I think it's a collection of Mountain Man accounts. I feel like I have to yawn. It's late. It's been a long day. So, I was surprised it was in nice condition. A lot of the books in this store, they do tend to get messed up, but I get lucky a lot. Today I did pretty good. America's Frontier Story, a documentary history of westward expansion, edited by Martin Ridge and Ray A. Billington. And, intact dust jacket, nice find. Oh, there comes that yawn. Excuse me. This is something I keep saying. It's a new book, relatively new. This came out in 2017, last year. Killers of the Flower Moon, the Osage Murders, and the Birth of the FBI by David Grann. I've been curious about this book, but the price kept me from getting it. Today I got it, and it ended up costing me 33 cents. It's like brand new. I don't know why it was sitting there. It was brand new. I mean, someone bought it and got rid of it. There's no name in it. There's no bent pages. It's just brand new. Okay, the last three books. This looked interesting. It's The Films of Woody Allen by Robert Benayoun, and it's translated by Alexander Walker. And it's got some good reviews online. And this book I don't have, although I would have guessed that maybe I did, but I'm not aware that I have it. It's Matthew Brady, Historian with a Camera by James D. Horan. It's in great shape. And this is like a, let's see here. It's kind of a biography slash photo essay kind of book. And last but not least, Without a Dust Jacket. Oh, I'm tired. Okay, this book here is The North American Indians by Paula Richardson Fleming and Judith Lusky. Again, dust jacket was missing, but it's a pretty cool book. It's got lots of nice photographs and text. I do have this book with the dust jacket. But now I have it just like kind of like a reading copy. Put on one day if I ever get a bigger place, or when I get a bigger place with my family, and I have like a coffee table, put it on there. So that's it for what I purchased. My wife got it. I can see from here a nice book called Hollywood Love Stories. Nice hardcover book, and a couple of others. So we had a great time, and that is it for tonight. I think I'm gonna go to bed. Good night. It's Sunday, May 27th, and time for another book update video. Yesterday we went to New Jersey. Went to a used bookstore. I was going to go to maybe two of them. I only ended up going to one. And then we went to an interesting place, an attraction called Old Barracks in Trenton, New Jersey, which is a Revolutionary War era barracks. And it was a reenactor, and he was explaining what went on there. It was very interesting. And then we went bowling, and then we went out to eat. So without further ado, here are the books that I purchased yesterday. There's 13 of them. They averaged out to 67 cents each because they were having a sale. So from smallest to largest, this is what I purchased. Jane Austen, Sense and Sensibility, with the introduction by Margaret Drabble. I have this book, but I don't have this cover, and thought it was kind of cool. So got that. And then here's a science fiction book. Looked very interesting. It was in excellent shape. It's called From the Legend of Biel, B-I-E-L, by Mary Staton, S-T-A-T-O-N. And looked very interesting. Had good reviews online. We looked it up. And for 67 cents, why not try it? This book I have, but the spine is a little bit messed up. Worn, it was used, and this one is in almost brand new condition. It's Hoop of the Nation. It's part 3 of the Snowblind Moon saga. It's also reprinted in one large book, but this is part of the trilogy. It was also printed in 3 separate books. Again, this is part 3. The author is John Byrne Cook. Excellent book, or should I say trilogy of books. This is a book that came out, let's see when this came out. This is from 2008. I remember when this came out, and I saw it a few times like at Strand, but I never did buy it. The price really wasn't right. So now I found it for 67 cents. Shaved Tail by Thomas Cobb. Great shape. It's not that the books were 67 cents each. It averaged out to 67 cents each. They were having a sale where you get 2 books for $1 each, get the third one free. So we wound up buying 15 books, and 13 of those are mine. My wife bought another 2. My son bought separate inside the store, not part of the sale, a Doctor Who DVD and a Doctor Who novel. But so the books that I purchased averaged out then to like 67 cents each. Lieutenant Hornblower by C.S. Forester. This one is, I think, number 2 in the series, and it's called The Lieutenant, and I actually don't have this one. I would have preferred to get the smaller paperback instead of the larger softcover, but, that's what they had. It was in great shape. This is a book I've seen around, but never saw it in good shape, and I always wanted to get it. The Spirit of Indian Women. I like the photographs in it. Not so much reading spiritual stuff. I'm an atheist, but Native American spirituality is cool to me. They don't make claims like to have the universal truth. Just whatever worked for them. That's fine with me. This is edited by Judith Fitzgerald and Michael Oren Fitzgerald, with an introduction by Janine Pease, Pease. Again, The Spirit of Indian Women. And let's just see here. There's other photos. So, kind of cool. I have the companion one to that, which has Native American men in it. This is a book I'm pretty sure I know I saw it like maybe a year ago, and I think I actually saw it at this store and no one purchased it, and there it was on sale again. I'm pretty sure it was this place. It's called Two Guys Read Jane Austen by Steve Chandler and Terrence N. Hill. And they even had this like cover on it, a broad art, like a sleeve on the book. So it's kind of cool to find it again after a year. I'm pretty sure that was the place. This, Eye of the Storm, written and illustrated by Private Robert Knox Sneeden, edited by Charles F. Bryan and Nelson D. Langford. This is a reading copy. The book is like broken in the spine. It opens up like all the way. You can see the spine somewhere. I'm not going to do it here, but for 67 cents, I figured it'd fill out my box, and I could bring it on the train to read if I want. Even though it's a little bit big, I don't really mind bringing it out. It's just a reading copy, and I'll get rid of it. Then, this was pretty interesting. Tony Thomas is the author. The Films of the 40s. And it's basically some information about all the, I guess, I don't know if all of them, but certainly the most famous and some of the not so famous films from the 1940s, with some interesting text about the movies. So, what the hell? Looked good to me. This one here I don't have. It's part of a series. I think there's 6 books in this series. I have 2 of them now. This is The Guns of 62, and it's edited by William C. Davis, and it actually had this jacket on it already. This book here, I originally showed it to my wife. She didn't want it. She has a bunch of books on Lincoln already, and I don't have any. So The Face of Lincoln was in pretty nice shape. Already had the jacket on it, and basically photos of Lincoln with explanatory text on the opposite page about the pictures and so forth. So in great shape, and now I have a Lincoln book. And here, this is We Were There, Normandy, Eyewitness Battlefield Stories. Ernie Pyle, Robert Capa, A.J. Liebling, George Hicks, Hal Boyle, Don Whitehead, and others. Edited by Hal Buell, Buell. Nice hardcover book. And also, this one had the cover on it. This particular store, they actually, most of their books, hardcovers with dust jackets, do have the jackets. They sell them that way. It's amazing. I never seen a store do that, but they do. This one I had to put a jacket on myself, and this is a pretty big book. The dust jacket's in mostly good shape, but someone put some, it's hard to see on here, but there's like tape and some spots on it. Not from what I did, but it was that way. But the dust jacket is intact, and overall it's in very good shape. It's called The Two World Wars, meaning World War I and World War II. And Suzanne Everett wrote the World War I section, and I looked her book up on World War I, which is sold separately, and it got very good reviews. And Brigadier Peter Young wrote the World War II section. And this book is heavy with pictures and text. And it's hard to see, but too far. So this was a really good find, I think, for 67 cents. Wow. So that is it for the books. And this coming week, next weekend, we're actually going away to like a family gathering. But before you know it, my friend Gary will be here from England. We'll be going to some bookstores with him. And that's it. I'll just be going to Strand during the next month, I guess. Over and out. Till next time. Bye. Okay, it's Friday afternoon, June 1st, and this will be the last segment to my May 2018 Countdown to Retirement video. But as I just said, it's June 1st, so now we're down to 13 months officially till I retire at the end of next June 2019 with my wife. Okay, at the end of each month, I like to do a video telling what books I read and what movies I watched for that month. So during the month, and I'll rate them from 1 to 5, like Amazon's rating system. So I read Lord Grizzly by Frederick Manfred, 3.5 stars. Alfred Hitchcock Presents Stories Not for the Nervous, 2.5 stars. I would say hardly anything in that book represented the title well, Stories Not for the Nervous. Although there were some 2 or 3 good stories, overall that book was a dud. Northanger Abbey by Jane Austen, 4.5 stars. I feel like I read that book in a previous month, like the month before, in April, but I guess not. I wrote it down here. Sometimes you forget. Well, sometimes I forget. A lot of times I forget. I forget things a lot. Encounters at the Heart of the World by Elizabeth A. Fenn. Even when I make notes to remember things, I forget the notes. Encounters at the Heart of the World, which is about the Mandans by Elizabeth Fenn, like I just said, Fenn. I'm about halfway through that book, and I give it 4.5 stars. I have some little issues with it, but 4.5 stars. Overall, it's very good. Okay, movies watched. Let's start from the beginning. I'm going to start with May 1st. I watched Wonder Woman, the new movie with Gal, I guess her name is Gadot, and Chris Pine. I gave that 3 stars. I'm not going to explain why and give reviews. I'm just going to rate them. Hornblower, that's the Horatio Hornblower series. The Frogs and the Lobsters, episode number 4, I gave 3 stars. Wind River, not a current movie that came out a year or 2 ago, but this is from 2000 with Blake Huron and Adolfo Martinez. I gave 2 stars. That's a pretty sad movie. There's a movie called Sex Drive. I gave 3 stars. 27 Dresses with Katherine Heigl and James Marsden. I gave 3 stars. The Indian Fighter with Kirk Douglas, Walter Matthau, and Elsa Martinelli. I gave 2 stars. Good cast, but I thought that movie was kind of lame. The Best of Everything, Joan Crawford and Hope Lang. 4 stars. It's a pretty good movie. Fading Gigolo, John Turturro and Woody Allen, 5 stars. Enough Said, Julia Louis-Dreyfus and James Gandolfini, 5 stars. Everything Beautiful is Far Away, 2 stars. Music and Lyrics with Hugh Grant and Drew Barrymore. I was expecting to like this movie more than I did. I like Hugh Grant. It was 2 stars I gave that movie. Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist with Kat Dennings and Michael Cera, 2.5 stars. Drinking Buddies, Olivia Wilde, Anna Kendrick, Jake Johnson, and Jason Sudeikis, 3.5 stars. The Day the Earth Stood Still, famous sci-fi movie, I gave 3 stars. That movie really got a better rating, but some of it was just really silly. Like, for instance, there's this UFO in Washington, D.C., and there's like two soldiers guarding it. It was ridiculous. Some security, that was dumb. Let's see. Born to be Blue with Ethan Hawke and Cameron Ejogo, 3.5 stars. The Longest Week, Olivia Wilde and Jason Bateman, 3 stars. Secret Window, based on a Stephen King story with Johnny Depp, 3 stars. You're Not You, Hilary Swank and Emmy Rossum, 5 stars. The Salvation, Mads Mikkelsen and Eva Green. I was expecting to like this movie a lot more than I did. Same way with something earlier that I watched. Oh, the Music and Lyrics. The same was with that movie. I gave The Salvation 2 stars. Now Is Good, Dakota Fanning and Jeremy Irvine, 4.5 stars. She's All That, Freddie Prinze and Rachel Leigh Cook. She's Not All That, 2 stars. Drive Me Crazy, Melissa Joan Hart and Adrian Grenier, only slightly better, 2.5 stars. AI, Artificial Intelligence, 3 stars. The Unholy Four, a film noir movie, I gave 2 stars. Words and Pictures with Juliette Binoche and Clive Owen, 4 stars. I love Juliette Binoche. You hear that? I love you. I'm married, so. Doctor Who, Last of the Time Lords with David Tennant. I watched that with my son. I gave that 4 stars. Existence, spelled Existen with Jennifer Jason Leigh again and Jude Law, 3.5 stars. Lost in Translation with Bill Murray, Scarlett Johansson, and Anna Faris, 3.5 stars. My 3.5 stars, that is actually a good rating, but the movie you might like. I feel like it's better than that, but I gave it 3.5 stars. Because not much happens, but it was good. So 3.5. Moonlight in Vermont. I watched the first 17 minutes. That was a Hallmark movie. I gave it 1 star and I just turned it off. That almost never happens. Has it ever happened before? I don't even think I've ever done that before. Born Yesterday. That's part of my 15 movie countdown. That's the second one I watched. Last month, what did I watch? I don't remember right now. But every month I'm watching one movie that I've already watched till I get to June. So I watched Born Yesterday with Judy Holliday, William Holden, and Broderick Crawford. I gave 5 stars. Equilibrium with Christian Bale, Sean Bean, and Emily Watson. That movie seems to have gone under the radar for most people. It came out in 2002, I think it was. Excellent movie, 4.5 stars. It was very good. Don't Bother to Knock. That's kind of film noirish. It's Richard Widmark and Marilyn Monroe. It was a 1 hour, 15-minute movie, so it's not that long a movie. And I would give it 3.75 to 4 stars. So somewhere like around 4 stars. That's it for the month of May. We are now into June. I've not bought any books the last week since we went out last Saturday for books. I had a blood test. I'll just get a little bit personal here. I had a blood test last week, or actually Monday, and I got very good results. Blood sugar level, cholesterol, all that stuff was really good. I think it's something to do with the diet that I'm eating, trying to follow along with my son's special diet while he's on a special diet temporarily. So, for health reasons. And that's about it. Till next time, bye.